Hey guys, Betsy Lemaire here, Wickenburg, Arizona. So I just did a video, and I just was thinking about, sometimes people ask, like, what do you do to prepare for something like that, to go to one of those rodeos? We had these jackpots. Sarah Keith Keffer put them on, probably good month ago, and so I took as many as I could take up there or whatever, and worked those horses and ran them in the jackpot, and then somebody was asking, are you going to go to the rodeo? And then I was joking around. I was like, yeah, I mean, shoot, I've been known to enter my colt and show up to Prescott many a time, so why buy a ticket if you can enter the rodeo, right? So anyway, so that was preliminary right there. So that's good. And then, going to the jackpots. So I got Jonesy in there, I think, twice. And I got Scooby in there once or twice. And that's kind of when we just come back on him after him cutting his foot. So he was just really been trying to just put things together since then. And like, say I got on Scooby early before the performance. I know, a lot of barrel racers that I do the same thing on one that's pretty solid. I may just get on a couple events before and warm up and go run my horse. But it just depends on the horse too. And I just felt like I need to get on him, and I needed to go ease around. And then Jonesy, I got on him probably 5:30 or so when it was real quiet, and went and just rode him, and rode him around the warm-up pen. He was super good, but there wasn't anything going on. And then, during the rodeo, like compared to the jackpot, it's almost like you're not even in the same arena. Like, it's literally, especially at night, if you've been running a horse during the day in a pen, certain pen, but especially like at Prescott, it's so loud. And there's the clowns and the Clydesdales and the trucks and the golf carts and the banners, and then 5,000 people screaming in the crowd, and the announcer and the band and the music. It's totally different than when you are at the jackpot. And I feel like a lot of times those horses in a performance, for me anyway, I feel like they'll run just like, literally, they'll have a lot of confidence if you just ride them confident, and you got to be their guide. But it's not always easy to ride a green horse at their first performance. That was Jonesy's second performance. I know that Scooby'd been running some high school rodeos at one point. I don't know if he's ever been in any rodeos. He may have. But probably not anything to that magnitude like Prescott. So anyway, you got to ride him confident. And a lot of times at night, you got to really ride forward. Like, if I had it to do over and I could have a couple practice runs, I'd probably use a stick on Jonesy, like 2 swats to the second, just to keep him straight and up in there to the second, where, like, when he's a little scared and he's running towards a buck and shoot or a wall or whatever, he'll have a tendency to, like, pocket out to the right, and then he'll come back, and he's round right there. He's staying round, but he cut it off. And I didn't keep his feet moving. So for me, as far as that, yesterday, I would have shortened my stirrups on both horses. I ride them a little bit longer. This is just a side note. Ride them a little bit longer during the week. I think it's easier on my knees and my hips and all that stuff. And then when I compete, I need to remember, like, go time, like big time compete, I need to remember to shorten my stirrups up a hole. So, anyway, I feel like you got to ride them confident. I feel like you need to get on them early. You need to do a good warm-up, so they can just relax and they don't feel rushed. We talked about all that. here a week or so ago about your warm-up, but especially on a horse that's never been to a rodeo. I think your warm-up is pretty key. Anyway, and I literally stood around and watched the calf roping during the day on Scooby, and watched part of the rodeo, went back to the trailer, did this or that, but really stayed on him like most of the rodeo. And same with Jonesy. Like I had Lily was on Reagan. She was my outrider. Like we always joke about that, but sometimes they need a buddy. And that horse was absolutely perfect. Like I had to literally, like spank him once and then whoa and stop him. And then I sent him down the alley. And he came through the alley real confident and through the gate confident till about the score line. And then he was like, oh my gosh. And you could feel him just start to fade across, and you can see it in the movie. He just whoosh, goes across, and I've just got that outside rein, and I just try to keep riding him forward. Okay, we've got to make it to the barrel, Jonesy. You got to get around the barrel. And then he smokes it, really got across to the second. A lot of horses duck off at the jackpot at Prescott at the second barrel. So, same probably with the rodeo sometimes, like back in the day. I don't know now, but anyway. So I hope that kind of helps when you think about if you want to enter one and you want to season one and start going to some rodeos. Maybe that'll help you. Have a good night. Like, follow, subscribe, comment. Talk to you soon.